Hi, today we're talking about the differences between the TravelScoot Deluxe and the TravelScoot Escape. To highlight quickly which those differences are, we're going to talk about height difference, folding mechanism, step over clearance height, seat cushion, and width of the scooter. Let's get into it. Starting off initially, you're going to notice there are subtle differences between the two, namely in the frame design, as well as the yoke and the seat cushion. You're also going to notice the difference in the front wheels and then the height difference between the two models of the Deluxe and the Escape. This Deluxe model is the 2017 from a customer sent in that we are cleaning up and getting ready to send back to him. This is our floor model of the Escape here. Initially, you're going to see between the two cushions, there is a width difference. This seat is 17 inches in width. This seat is 15 inches in width. When we minimize the seat, we reduce weight as well as the overall dimensions of the scooter. If you find that you need a wider seat cushion than the Deluxe seat cushion that comes standard with the Escape model, you may order the XL seat cushion, which is a difference between the 15-inch width and a 21-inch width. Now let's get into underneath the seat cushion, what we're looking at. You will notice that there are 2 seat spacers on this model, and that is because the yoke height allows for the 2 as well as keeping the seat post down flush with the bottom. On the Escape model, there is only 1 seat spacer here, and that's because the height of the receptacle portion of the yoke is longer. See how it's shorter here and longer here? Now, on the Deluxe, this normally does have 2 lever clamps to open, but this bushing has been taken down by the customer. Set those aside. Now, when you remove the yoke, this is tapered on the right side for the Deluxe model. This bushing along this side is tapered to receive that. So there is only one way that you can install this yoke on the Deluxe. The Escape has 1 lever clamp on the right side. When you release that, you'll notice that this yoke has no taper, which gives it the ability to be put in either direction with the lever clamp up top facing forward or back. This allows us to also use what we call the switch yoke, which is illustrated in a separate video that we have. Let's look at the yoke side by side just to illustrate the difference again. The Deluxe has the taper, the Escape has none. There is definitely a difference in the width as well. Installed on the Escape now, you'll see that we have one of our air-safe batteries. The connection is the same. The way that it is installed into the controller is the same. Clicks into place. The way that it rests on the scooter itself is going to be different. Here on the Escape, it's turned up on its side. And let's move it over here to the Deluxe, where you'll see plugs in, same way, but then it rests on the back. The straps that hold the Deluxe model in are also longer, which accommodates you to do 2 batteries stacked on top of each other if you wish. With the Escape, you do still have the option to do 2 batteries. However, you would need what are called the H brackets, which set on top and allow you to stack the 2 batteries on top of each other on their edges. With the Deluxe model, the front pegs where you rest your feet are all part of what we call the 3-way joint. So this is one entire piece which connects with your locking mechanism and the folding mechanism here. On the Escape model, however, these front pegs are removable. So this is an independent piece, which the horseshoe shape with the cane holders is an independent piece from the rest of the frame. With this model of the Deluxe, this has the narrow front wheel, which is the way that from 2004 to approximately 2018, that is how they came. Then the wide front wheel and fork was introduced. So that is an option to swap out if you have the narrow front wheel and you'd like it to be the wider. That is an option to switch those out. The Escape comes standard with the wide front wheel and fork each time. The removal is the same on both scooters. It's a spring pin into the lower tube. Let's remove this as well. And here you can really see the difference in the width between the two, as well as the difference in the fork. So you would not be able to purchase a wide front wheel to just change with your Deluxe narrow wheel. You would have to increase the width of the fork as well to accommodate that. Also, you'll see that there is a difference in the diameter of the tubing. You can actually fit the Escape width inside of the Deluxe. So there is a difference in this lower tubing that this inserts into. So these are not interchangeable between the two models. Now with the seats off, this is the perfect time to show the difference in the folding mechanism between the Deluxe and the Escape. With the Deluxe, there are 2 spring pins that need to be engaged in order to be able to fold. So with one, release the pressure, begin the fold, release the pressure, begin the fold. As this comes down, you will see that they come in together to give you a narrow, long frame in order to be able to pack up. The seat cannot be installed again on this because of the narrowing of the distance. They will be as 2 separate pieces. You'll have the frame as well as the seat assembly. With the Escape, the folding mechanism has been simplified. It is 1 pin that locks into place and can be picked up from here. Now let's set them back up, and we're going to go over the dimensions a little bit more in depth. We're going to put these 2 back to back now to highlight the differences in the width. 23.5 inches for the Deluxe, 21.5 inches for the Escape. Now, this was done primarily with cruise ships in mind to be able to go through the doors easily. The Escape will fit through every cruise ship door. The Deluxe sometimes will not. Much more convenient to be able to go straight through the door. Many people ask us why the change from the Deluxe to the Escape model. The main reason is the step over height. A growing number of our customers and our current and new customers found it very difficult to step over in this way onto the Deluxe model. Some found options to step over 1 bar at a time, sit down, and then put their feet. But this height was quite a challenge for them. You can see that we're just under 10 inches at the part that most folks step over. Most people aren't stepping over right here. They're about here to get over. But that was a difficult clearance for them. Now let's highlight the Escape clearance in contrast. Now this, it's more than half of the height clearance to step over this amount. And then be able to put your feet. This also is a difference in putting your feet down quickly to stand up, to stop the scooter if you are doing more than just engaging the brakes. A very attainable distance here. Seen at the tallest point for the steering column here and the lowest point. You can see for myself, I'm 5'6". Being here, my arms are above a 90-degree angle. I would not ride with them that high. I would like them a little bit more here. That comes down to personal preference. Also, the link tube here. This is the clamp. You can see the set screw is very deeply recessed, and that holds this channel in position so that it doesn't separate and keeps everything together. Going to the Escape, this is the highest point. This is the lowest point. And the link tube and lever clamp, you'll see it has a much more visible external set screw. We've talked about the differences. Now let's point out what's still the same. Power switch with forward and reverse, throttle, lever style of brakes. These are black, and you'll see on the Deluxe they're silver. Hub drive motor and the controller. Band style brakes, all similar. The only difference with the motors that will be visible is going to be in the way that the motor is installed and uninstalled, which we have a separate video relating to that. We hope that this video helps answer any of the questions you may have had about the Deluxe versus the Escape, and many questions you probably didn't have either. If I missed anything, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and happy scooting.